Mr. Deputy Speaker, I wish to raise grievances on the issue of lawlessness in our country. And so I thank you for the opportunity. And I want to make a statement, first of all, in direct contrast to what the good governor for Morobe was.
Honorable Governor, sorry to interrupt you. I just want to put this straight for our handset record. Please address the chair as acting speaker. Thank you.
My apologies, Acting Speaker. I want to make a direct reference and contradiction to what the Honorable Governor for Morobe said in his preamble to the question that he raised to the Prime Minister. And he said, and I quote, "We are a Christian country." I take issue with that, Mr. Acting Speaker, simply because we are now the second most lawless country on planet Earth, based on official figures. The only country with the worst criminal issue in the world is Venezuela. Papua New Guinea is number 2. And we cannot dispute that, Mr. Acting Speaker. For instance, even in my province, we are struggling. We have a recent trend where young men produce their own weapons. It started off for fishing, and they now carry them around quite happily, just waiting for trouble, so they can use it on each other. We have so far lost 5 people through the use of these new weapons. They used to be fishing implements. We are also losing people to bush knives. At our hospital, the rate of trauma is over 60%. What does that mean? That means that the people that get injured by things like wire catapult, things like bush knives, takes up 60% of the hospital's resources. And I'm sure if you check some of the other provinces, they will have similar statistics. We had a meeting, we had a crisis meeting to try to deal with the issue. In Sepik, we have 160 policemen and women who are active. 160 to police an area that is 4,400,000 hectares of land with a population of 600,000 people. We don't have enough policemen. I checked our budget figures for this year, and I note that our police are going to get 360 million in the budget allocation we passed last year, and out of that, 285 million is going to go for wages and emoluments. We need to do something. I think this House needs to do something. When the new budget comes in, I personally want to see an increase in police budgets. We can't play around with this anymore. Our young people are restless. They don't respect the authority of elders in the village anymore. And so they are running around looking for fights. That's not just in my province. I think it's in every province. We sit here and we talk about investments. We go out of Papua New Guinea and we go and talk to foreign investors and we want to invite them in here. We want the private sector to invest and create jobs. None of those things are going to happen if there is no law and order. None of it will happen. It's as simple as that. I was discussing with a certain foreign partner about the possibility of getting volunteer teachers from their country to come to my province to teach particularly STEM subjects. Now the good ambassador kindly and politely told me, he said this, he said, 20 years ago, we had volunteers in every province in Papua New Guinea. Over time, we started to withdraw all of our volunteers. And we ended up in just 2 provinces, East New Britain and Milne Bay. Then we had to pull out of East New Britain. And recently we pulled out of Milne Bay. So they no longer have any volunteers in Papua New Guinea anymore. And the simple reason, law and order. We can build classrooms. They are going to bend them down. We can build roads. All back come na digim road here. We can go and put all kinds of projects. They are not going to work because there is general lawlessness going on. I had a bridge burnt recently in Sepik, right next to my own village, and I had to go down there and try and talk to the people because of criminal activities. Because of criminal activities. I would like to see that we bring in amendments to the criminal code, first of all, that we make the penalty for the use of wire cutter pelt, bush knife, or anything that is used in the commission of a crime a minimum of 10 years, just like we did for guns. I want to bring those amendments to the floor. Enough is enough. And then we have to build bigger prisons, whether we like it or not. Mibla lo isipik, mibla find out osem. If we arrest 20 people, we don't have the cells to hold them. We don't have the space at bottom. So we've got to look at the whole chain and we've got to build it. And I've asked my own open members, I said, next year, suppose national government come, you may all gotta put in 5 million lo DSIP, you build him cell, police house, lo, district blah, blah, and I will build the accommodation at bottom from the PSIP. We've got to take serious action because our young people don't care anymore. You drive the road, we go wire catapult by come through the window blade. When there's a fight, they don't just stick to the troublemakers all yet. Anybody who is suspected that you are fair game. It's happening here in Mosby too, quite regularly. We saw some recently at the overpass. We need better prosecution. And any new money to the police must involve the recruitment of competent lawyers who will become police prosecutors. So when these culprits are arrested, when they perpetrate a crime, Jimmy Karimol Golo Courthouse, we know that 90% of the time we will get a conviction. The all by Gona Karabus. We need better trained police as well. Our policemen and women need to be better trained, they need to be better skilled. And I think we need to bring in non-lethal weapons as well. You give all gantasol. Time all money biget lo street. Police by the fire lo all time lo sutim lo leg. Na suppose all abrus no katim one atri lo money lo leg. And by bleed out na inday on the way to the hospital. And what happens? All the policemen that are involved, they all get sent to jail for 20 years. That doesn't help. All policemen too less lo work now. Because chance blow logo karabus too have increased because the judges are taking a hard line as well. So we are losing on all fronts. Police need to be better disciplined, but at the same time, we need to amend the laws to give protection to policemen and women. If in the event of carrying out their duties to protect our public and to protect public property, now suppose only abrus na kilimon blaman, the law needs to see the policemen in a better light. Ino M2 yumi salim go karabus. We are just making things harder for ourselves. We need more men. Sepik needs at least a doubling of policemen and women. Mi play no enough now. And finally, in closing, Mr. Acting Speaker, in my research I found out that America has the largest prison system in the world. They have the largest incarcerated population. And I thought to myself, that's because America is supposed to be the most free country on earth. Mibla lo here, yeah. I think we are the most free country. We have so much freedom, you can do whatever you want. You like killing man, you like rape, or you like making one, you want to go and destroy somebody's car, or you want to have a tribal fight in the middle of the city. You can go ahead and do it. No God man will arrest you. Now tomorrow you can come and walk him can. Because no one is going to arrest you. And if they do arrest you, there's no space in the prison. So we need to build it all. Because with great freedom comes great responsibility. And because our people have a lot of freedom, we need to build prisons like in America. We need to take this seriously. And we need to police the freedoms. Because those freedoms, if you don't exercise them responsibility, like we had responsibly, like you may walk him. You may make it nothing, now you may think also you may free or make it something. That's when the state needs to exercise its power so that it can protect the innocent. And that's what we need to do, Mr. Acting Speaker. I'm grievance Plomilo now. Thank you.